Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to elenasbarre, low impact full body workouts and the resurgence of sanity. Hi, Steve. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
Awesome. I was very excited about this topic, guys, and I know that
Whoa, wait a minute. What's our
what
topic?
restrained for women.
Are you trying to make the world hate us?
They already do, so why bother?
Oh, okay. Well, man, this could be a loaded topic, but guess what? We can have fun with it.
Yep. Hi, White Clouds. Great to see everyone today. Guys, if you are joining us, remember to please leave us your comments. Tell us what you think about this controversial topic. We appreciate your feedback. If you disagree, also tell us why, okay? If you disagree with anything we hear, a quick disclaimer here, we are going to ruffle some feathers with today's topic. It's not going to be very popular, guys, okay? So, yeah, if you agree with something that we say, remember to please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot, and it helps us to bring awareness to other people who need to hear this. And yeah, let's dive in, Steve.
Okay. What would a feminist say if you asked them the question? Do women need to be restrained?
Hell no, we already know the answer to that question.
Oh, okay. Now let's. What would a feminist say? Do men need to be restrained?
Of course, they are evil. They're evil
Oh, okay.
misogynists.
Yeah, so you could say men need to be restrained from the evil things they do.
Hmm.
And Christians, tradcons wouldn't have a problem with that. Feminists wouldn't have a problem with that. But if you say women need to be restrained, oh man, everybody's against you. Would that be accurate?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, does people in general need to be restrained?
Yeah, this is why we have discipline, right? And
This is
accountability.
why we have laws.
Yeah, laws, exactly.
If there wasn't a law against driving 120 miles an hour down the freeway,
Mm-hmm.
more people would do it.
Yeah.
So we have speed limits. Okay, there's all kinds of traffic laws. You have to abide by those. And, a stoplight. Yeah, there's a restraint. There's a law. Can't blow through that. And if you do, and you're caught, there will be consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we agree these are good things for society, both, and they apply equally to men and women, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, most of us have jobs. Uh, are there restraints in your job?
Sure.
I mean, I'm just the employee. I don't have access to the checkbook.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have any authority. The only authority I have is that which has been delegated to me by tradition or practice or common sense. Some decisions I can make, they're of low consequence. Others, no, I need to ask my boss. And he can approve spending money on something. I can't. So I have restriction on my authority and decision making ability, and my authority can be whatever decision I made can be overrode. And then, okay, well, I'm not in charge. What am I going to do about it? Women seem to understand this and mostly accept that in their jobs. So, you know, women experience restraint on their actions all the time.
Yeah,
And it's a, no one really would argue that that's a bad thing.
except for the feminists.
No, no, not even the feminists.
Not even the well, I mean,
Restraint in their job.
okay, when see, when they do it for a job, they don't do it for the benefit of one man, because they're pursuing their independence. They don't want to be committed to one man. This is why they would much rather, um yeah, we are past 8 minute mark, suck the dick of their boss rather than being loyal to their husbands.
You're taking it to the sexual too
I
soon.
mean, okay. How else? How else do women get high positions, Steve? It's because
Well,
men
they
give it to
do. I
them
mean, basically, that's through manipulation.
through manipulation, through emotional manipulations, through their sexuality. Yeah, they don't use it with the father. This is with the father of their kids, with their husband, but they are okay to use it for other purposes to achieve their independence from one man. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, otherwise, they'd have to actually perform at a super high level in their job, do work, and have exemplary performance and all that. That's a lot of work.
Hmm.
Isn't it easier to just manipulate and sweet talk and, some sexual favors? Because they know who has the power. It's someone above them to promote them. Uh, they don't, in their job, they don't act as a partner and demand equal say in the decisions.
Well, there is the hierarchy in the job, and the women are okay with the hierarchy, which means that they really don't want to do. This is why we have the dead bedroom situation in the families, because women are willing to do it for their bosses, but they are not willing to do it for their husbands.
Yeah, why is that?
Wow, lots of factors play into it. I mean,
Oh, you want me to give you my answer,
yeah,
and you can tell me
yeah.
if
Give
you
me your
agree.
answer. Yes. I,
Okay, in a marriage, she's already got the resources.
mm-hmm.
The money is coming in by virtue of the marriage.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There is no pay for performance. There is in a job. So you don't do your job, you're going to get fired and you won't have the money and you won't survive. Well, in marriage, it's just there. So she doesn't have to do anything to receive support, financial support
Mm-hmm.
in general. Secondly, she's bought into this belief that I'm a partner. I have equal say. And so she feels she has more power in the marriage. And of course, the courts would back her up. If he does something wrong, she can go get other men to enforce stuff on her husband, or she can leave him and still keep the financial support through child support or spousal maintenance. So there is there's no consequences here.
Yeah.
She doesn't really need to be accountable. She doesn't need to bring anything to keep living in the house that in most cases he's paying for, to keep eating the food that he earns, works for in most cases. Yes, okay, she probably has a job
Mhm.
too. But mostly women don't earn as much as men, And if there's financial hardships, well, you know what? You better pick up some extra hours at work. He needs to make more because, you know, it's his responsibility, although they're equal in deciding things. So if he wants sex and she doesn't, her vote is equal to his. She doesn't have to do anything. She just has to be.
Well, and this is why we say men must become, women just are, right?
Right.
There are so many things that are wrong here.
Okay, let's look at another real life example. This one's not about women, particular specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it California? They were having too many problems with shoplifting and prosecuting people, and it was too much of a burden on the system. So I think it's changed now, but for a while it was, if you shoplift, basically steal $900 or less, it wouldn't be a felony. Basically, you wouldn't be arrested for that.
Seriously?
So what do you think happened?
Well, I can see the analogy here. Women are shoplifting their husbands pretty hard, and then there are no
Right. Okay,
consequences.
but let's not go there yet. What happened when they passed this law is the amount of shoplifting for $900 or less increased dramatically, and the stores couldn't do anything about it. People would just come in, grab
Take.
stuff, and
Mhm.
leave, and the stores knew, hey, we can't do anything about this.
I know, right?
So they started putting things behind lock and key. Okay, that wasn't entirely effective. So what happened to the neighborhoods where this was prevalent? The stores closed. They
Yeah,
left.
sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you made the analogy with women. When women are unrestrained and there's no accountability and no enforcement, no restraint on their behavior, and they act the way they do, what do men do? They leave. Nope, I'm not shopping here. I'm not doing this. I'm not wifing you up. I'm good. No.
Mm-hmm. You know,
So when women started abusing the sexual marketplace, men left the sexual marketplace or the relationship marketplace, however you want to say that.
yeah. I just wish men did. I did read an article yesterday. I couldn't fall asleep. I went to bed very late, guys, and I didn't sleep well. But I was reading an article yesterday by Professor Stephen Baskerville,
Yeah.
and he says there is a solution to feminism. There is a solution to single motherhood and to fatherless children. It's just a marriage strike, and essentially, this is what men are already doing, not with a uh, big scale. Of course, there are still simps who wife up this horse, and unfortunately, they there are a lot of them, you know. But uh, the more we convince men that marriage is not good for them, will actually solve the problem eventually, because women will become desperate, and they need to become desperate so that they can give up their power, their control. So they will start begging men to come and, and like change it so that they can have a decent life there.
We don't need to teach men that. We don't need to educate men.
Yeah.
Men, by nature, are problem solvers.
Yeah.
They look at a situation and they figure it out. And then they think, gee, is there a way for me to achieve my goal, to win. And I don't mean win as in uh, men win, women lose. I don't mean it that way.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
man to win at the marriage. So you know what? I'm buying in. I'm going to have kids. I'm going to have a marriage. It's going to last forever. I'm not going to lose half my shit. And I'm not going to lose my kids because I'm here for the long term. That's a win. Okay. If he can't achieve his goal, a lot of men are just not going
To
to
marry.
even give it a try.
Yeah, yeah. And look, I 100% support that decision. Don't get married, gentlemen. It's not worth it. I mean, especially when we know that most women today are run through public horse with a feminist mindset. They're so fucked up in the head. They're so delusional, so entitled. Like they don't care. They don't care. I was also watching the debate by Paul Davis and uh, Lila Rose, and oh gosh, like they really don't care about children. They say, well, we want the kids, we want to save those unborn kids. Why don't you take care of the kids who already exist, who are already being ruined by the single motherhood that you refuse to address?
Well, now you're confusing facts with feelings.
Mm. Well, I mean,
So, hey,
they appeal to the feelings all the time. You know, it's like, oh, but these are the kids, and we should save them. We should by saving those unborn kids. Why don't we hold those women accountable for killing those babies? Why don't they go to jail? Why do they get a free jail card from that?
because they're victims.
Yeah, right. When they are choosing to spread their legs, they are no victims, Steve. They say it's
Oh
my
yes,
choice, my
yes.
body, right?
Some man just talked the pants off of him. It's his
Yeah.
fault, not hers. So this idea of restraint of a woman, she's got a past, a body count. Uh, what restrained her from doing that in her younger years before this guy met her?
Nothing. I mean,
Exactly. Nothing restrained her from doing whatever she wanted to do. What are the consequences up to now?
well, even
Up to
now,
now.
like, what are the consequences for her now? Let's be honest. If a man can't maintain his authority in the family, he shouldn't consider marriage.
Right. But the consequences up until, I don't see, a couple of years ago were not much. She has her past. She can still
Hmm.
find a man to wife her up. No, no real consequences. No restraint on her behavior.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Do women need to be restrained?
Yes.
Do they have accountability themselves? Can they
Restrain
restrain
themselves?
themselves?
No, no, they can't. They can't hold themselves accountable. They can't hold each other accountable. This is just BS. This is the feminist BS. Like, I'm so strong and powerful. I can hold myself accountable. And in addition to that, I'm going to hold everybody else accountable. Feminist in disguise. Here you go. Even if you say all of the right things, you still have that same mindset where you don't need men to restrain you. Or you don't want men to restrain you because it hurts your feelings. And you've been holding yourself accountable for such a long time. I'm sorry, Steve. I'm on a roll today. Let's keep going with that restraint. Yeah. Women need
Okay.
women need to be restrained by men. This is what they need.
Okay. So are women better off being restrained than left to do whatever they want?
Of course.
What happens when you don't have restraint?
I go off the rails.
Have you ever been known to make comments and create drama and controversy on the internet or Twitter or whatnot?
Yes.
Does it sometimes blow up in your face?
Oh, most likely, yes. Every single time.
Okay. And then you go talk to your husband or sometimes Nick or me. And we say, oh, okay, here's the situation. Oh, here's how you should handle it. So you do appeal after you've kind of acted without restraint. You do go to a man to say, oh, I think I
Fix it,
stepped in it
fix
this
it,
time.
fix it for me now because I stepped into it. Yes, I'm guilty as charged. Ladies, I'm not like, okay, I am still a woman and I do mess up, so
And you know what? That's
yeah.
fine. This just comes with the territory. All women do this. I'm
Mm.
not being critical.
No, I know that you are not. It's just like if there are a couple of women who might be tuning in, I'm just saying that, like all women,
So
even the rational women, they need to be restrained.
so when this happens, I just chuckle. Okay. I, I don't dislike Elena at all. I don't get mad at her. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that wasn't so wise. Maybe you should have run it by somebody before you reacted. Maybe you should have taken some time, you know, hours, a day.
Mm.
Write down what you want to say and then wait.
Right. Yeah.
And then decide if you still want to do it. So the immediacy, the need to address it, and okay, when you do that, when you make a decision, when a woman makes a decision that way, she's in a high state of emotion. Actually, when men make rash, they're called rash decisions. Rash decisions are made before entirely thinking it through, and your emotions have a big impact on poor decision making.
Yeah.
So it's restraint. You are not allowed. Here's an example that Plutarch kind of imposes. You're not allowed to make rash statements on the internet and just respond without thinking about it. Okay, well, that works, except when it doesn't, and she does it anyway.
Sometimes, yes, I go. Yeah.
But I mean, without that restraint,
Hmm.
it would be 10, 20 times worse than it is. It's manageable. I mean,
Oh,
Elena's
yeah,
pretty good
yeah.
with things.
Oh,
But but she knows how I mean, the internet is kind of an ugly place at times.
Okay, here, I love this comment by Tacticus. Rational women. I like it how he puts it in parentheses. Are restrained by wise men. Elena, you are the product of Plutarch helping you be the Elena you can be. Yes, I 100% agree. Yeah, if it wasn't for my husband, guys, I don't know where I would be actually. Yeah, he is putting a lot of restraint on me for sure. And then
But
it's not just look, it's not just a man. When there is a community of men, right? Like even back in the old social order with the patriarchy, that evil patriarchy that feminists so hate. Look, there was a husband, right? A woman was under his headship, and then society, other men were also restraining her. by imposing consequences on her. So it wasn't just her husband. I mean,
Yeah.
it's mostly her husband, right? Because he's the
Right.
head of the household, right? But there would be other men who would say, "No, you can't do that. This is not approved." And then the wives, because they had more authority in the family, unlike today, they would
So
be keeping their women in check.
you're a woman that is restrained. Now let's talk about that. That sounds so bad. Now let's think about that. From experience, when you act without restraint, sometimes it kind of blows up in your face.
Mm-hmm.
So if you abide by the restraint, you may not like it at the time, but you also know when you're thinking more clearly, yeah, that was a good thing. It actually turned out better. My response was better. I got my message across better.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was good. Plus, with that restraint, there's always a feeling of security. Yes, I'm secure in this relationship. Yes, my husband cares. Yes, most of the time he actually makes good decisions. Yeah, this is safe. And I'm thankful that he stops me from doing stupid things sometimes. So that leads to some overall long term, you feel peace in the relationship and secure. Now, all women are prone to emotions in the moment. And yeah, Elena's no different. She can really resent it for,
I
an hour
can.
or two, sometimes a day,
Yeah,
if
it
she's really out of
fluctuates.
sorts.
And look, guys, I haven't been making a lot of videos this week. Uh, First and foremost, because I was struggling from allergies, and I still am under the weather here. But mm, I was trying to behave the whole week, except for when you guys told me, "Ah, don't do it, don't do it." I read it too late. Yeah.
Yeah, I should read this because I think it's just hilarious. What was it? Because I had a good response to you. I just think this is kind of cute. Oh, it's yeah, we do a lot of texting sometimes. It goes on for a while. Uh, I'm getting close. I
Okay.
think. Man, this is. I'm still.
You're still scrolling? Is it my messages mostly?
Uh, yeah.
I know, right? I write a lot. I did actually write an article, guys, but I sent it for review to the guys because it was based on that debate where the Tretcons, like
Oh, here it is.
abortion. It really, really triggered me. So I did write an article. I sent it to the
Okay,
guys for review.
she Elena wrote this in our group chat. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
she knew it was just going to be me on here today. So she said, "Guys, I was behaving almost the whole week. So tomorrow we're going to have fun, right, Steve?" And so I said, "Sure. So we can almost have fun." And her husband, Plutarch, wrote in, ROFL. She totally walked into that one.
Yeah, I did.
So,
Eh,
yeah, she got into a minor kerfuffle on the internet. It
Mostly
wasn't
on
a big deal.
mostly on Twitter, guys. It's like I just yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let's not get off topic today.
So, that's restraint.
Mhm.
Okay, that just shows, okay, you restrain a woman, it's never going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's going to cross the line. Uh, then you got to talk about that. Um, I don't impose any consequences. I live hundreds, couple thousand, not quite a couple thousand miles away from her, so I don't have any consequences. But whatever consequences are in her marriage, that's between her and her husband. And yes, there are some. Sometimes it's a spending issue. Well, you're curtailed from spending for a while. I mean, the restraint or the consequences meet whatever's required.
Mm-hmm.
But in the process, it's all, Elena knows it's done with her best interest in mind or the best interest of the marriage. It's not to just punish and control her. It's for her, it's for the best outcome for her. And throughout that, she knows she's loved. So it's really not that big of a deal. And she's actually a happier woman and more secure than if she had to be out there making all the decisions herself and
But
dealing with all the
sounds,
responsibilities and consequences of making bad decisions.
it sounds so
I,
empowering, Steve. But like, okay, they want to make all of the decisions. But whenever you make a decision, they want to be like men, right? So, but men do it, so we need to do it too. We can do it too. We are strong and independent, right? But men are bearing the consequences of their actions. How about, like, you want to be equal to a man, then suck it up and deal with the consequences of your own stupid, irrational decision. Oh, wait a second.
yeah,
You don't want the pain, right? You just want the gain when you are strong, powerful, and independent, when
right.
some cock is bailing you out and saving you from yourself. Mm,
Uh, Women taking responsibility for the outcome of her decisions. I mean, are you crazy?
yeah.
Women being accountable for bad decisions, which would mean admitting to that, which would mean singling themselves out. Yep, I screwed up. No, it doesn't happen.
I
You
admit
can
when I
talk all
screw
along.
up.
You can say, well, it should be that way. Yes, you can keep talking about it should be that way, but it won't be because
Yeah.
that's not women's nature.
Yeah.
Because it's not their nature, it's basically a lack of internal accountability. Call that internal restraint. The restraint, in order to keep them from hurting themselves and society, has to come from someplace. Therefore, can't come from the inside. It has to come from the outside.
Yes. Hmm. And I noticed that, like, whenever women, it's so funny. Their desire, their drive for power and control, they immediately want to control others. Like, okay, if I can hold myself, if I don't, basically the line is so low there. If I am not out to lunch completely delusional, or if I'm not a train wreck there, right? If I'm not a completely run through whore by all definitions, right? If I uh okay, I restrain my sexuality online, right? I'm not like, I'm not a rigid feminist, basically. Oh, let me now restrain, let me now control others. Now I have the right, now I can, I because I have that minimal amount of self um self control. Let me now teach others how they are supposed to live their lives.
Sure.
When they themselves, they need to be restrained externally. Not from how they feel like, oh, but I have such deep connection with Jesus.
Yeah, okay. E- Here's another interesting thing. I believe, and I don't have any proof of this, but it's easier to restrain an above average intelligence woman than an average intelligence woman, because you can actually talk to a above average intelligence woman, and she kind of understands this
Hmm.
cause and effect thing.
Oh, you mean kind of like
Whereas,
gentle parenting? Sorry, I was just
yeah,
doing your clips, guys, for the past few days.
gentle parenting. Yeah, okay. Without consequences.
Uh huh.
Uh huh. I mean, the average intelligence woman is just going to do what she wants
Mm-hmm.
and then expect it to turn out for the best. That cause and effect just is not quite connecting. And she thinks that because she can walk, she deserves to vote and have equal say in the man. It doesn't matter if he makes more money than her. She's just as equal as he is, just because she can walk and breathe.
Yeah.
But actually, she is even more important than he is because she's got that glorious thing between her legs.
Yeah. A GPS. I know, right?